I've been wanting to try them out at home, and thanks to Apos Audio who sent these headphones for my review, I'm able to finally try these out at home and give you my review of them. But today I get to explore the question, are they worth it? So let's unbox the Meze 109 Pros and I'll tell you more about them. So the 109 Pros come with this very nice carrying case. They also come with this nice booklet which tells you more about the Meze 109 Pros and how they built them. So very nice that they included this. Meze Audio is known for their fine craftsmanship and use of premium materials. And you can see here that craftsmanship is started with the carrying case. It's actually a very nice carrying case. It's actually low profile, not bulky at all. I really like. They pay close attention to details, like it has this little loop here that you can hang it on your wall, for example, if you wanted to. And the feel of this material on the case feels very good. And you have this nice looking Meze Audio emblem right on the front. All right, let's open up this case. And we see the nice wooden headphones here. So let's go ahead and take them out. You get this nice little pouch which contains the audio cable. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. And you actually get not one, but two audio cables. You have this shorter one right here. The connectors themselves look very nice, but the audio cable is not a woven cable as you see in other premium headphones. Instead, it's your standard kind of rubberized audio cable, but I must admit that it does feel nice to the touch. They also include this 3.5mm to 6.3mm adapter. And so the reason they give you two audio cables, this shorter one for more like a mobile use. So if you're gonna take your headphones with you on the go to use with your smartphone, for example, the Meze 109 Pros are actually pretty easy to drive. So you can drive them off of your smartphone, for example. So if you're gonna use them in that scenario, you can use this shorter cable. However, you're gonna use these headphones on your desktop or in the studio, and they do provide this longer audio cable. So the first thing I wanna show you guys is the driver on the Meze 109 Pros. It does use a 50mm dynamic driver. The dome of the driver is made out of a carbon fiber reinforced cellulose composite. And around the dome you see in the center here, you have a beryllium coated polymer. Finally, you have an aluminum frame that contains everything including the neodymium magnet as well as a copper zinc stabilizer around the membrane. As I mentioned before, Meze always uses premium materials with all their headphone builds, and it starts at the driver. Now the Meze 109 Pros are open back headphones, and so you do have a grill on both sides of the driver. Here, if you look closely past the grill, you will see the driver inside. Same thing on the inside of the driver. You have this grill that protects the driver, and you can clearly see the driver there. I would like to point out that the drivers are slightly angled towards your ears. The ear pads are made out of a nice cushioned velour material, which are gonna feel really nice on your ears. And they're gonna be very breathable, which means you won't have to deal with ear sweat, such as you do with leather or pleather ear pads. On top of the headphone, you have this self-adjusting headband that helps to distribute the weight out so you get a nice even pressure on your head. Meze designed these headphones such that you can take them completely apart and service them yourself, such as changing out the ear cups or pad swapping. For example, if we take a quick look, I'll show you how easy it is to remove the ear pads. And you see, I just removed them very easily without much force at all. And now you can clearly see the diaphragm of the 109 Pros. And I must say, these look really nice. So you can go further and take these ear cups apart by removing the 5 Torx screws that you see right here. And here you can see the thickness of the ear pads. They're actually pretty thick, which are gonna make these nice and comfortable on your ears. If we take a quick peek on the inside of the ear pad, we see this plastic disc that goes around. It's gonna help you to slide it onto the ear cup. And if we look closer inside, we see some of that cushion material right there in that green bluish color. And you see these ear cups which look very nice, and they're actually made out of genuine black walnut wood, which makes these headphones look amazing. As far as audio connectors on the ear cups themselves, you have dual 3.5mm jacks. As for some of the technical specs on the 109 Pros, they weigh 375 grams, have an impedance of only 40 ohms, and a sensitivity of 112 dB, which makes these headphones fairly easy to drive, which is very convenient as it doesn't require you to have an expensive headphone amplifier to use. So you're gonna be able to take these headphones with you on the go and connect them up straight to your smartphone, or better yet, use small DAC dongles such as this Questal M15i, which will provide you with a great listening experience on these Meze 109 Pros. And if you'll be using the 109 Pros on your desk, I recommend something like the iFi Zen DAC V3. This affordable DAC amp had more than enough power to handle the 109 Pros. The 109 Pros also come with a 2-year manufacturer warranty, which is great. And so now let's take a closer look at the build quality. These are built superb. I mean, they look amazing. You could tell they use high quality premium materials. The weight of these headphones is not too heavy, and with the suspension strap here, it really helps to distribute that weight across your head. So it feels comfortable along with the velour ear pads here. You're definitely gonna have a very comfortable listening experience and be able to listen for hours at a time. The nice thing about the ear cup and the ear pads is that since the driver is angled, my ears fit right in here on this side, the back side of the ear cup. So my ears were completely covered. So it is quite comfortable. At the same time, your ears will feel a little warm after a while of listening. And this dual metal headband design is pretty nice. It stretches out quite a bit. I have a bigger head, so these do a good job of stretching out, as you can see, and they actually feel very solid. They don't actually move a lot, which is surprising because of how thin they are. And here we have a closer look at that black walnut wood. It looks great. And the grills here with that kind of spider design looks good. And you can easily see inside the driver. Now, since these are open back, they do leak out sound quite a bit at higher volume. So if you're considering buying these, just keep that in mind, that if you are gonna use this in the office environment, other people will be able to listen to the music you're listening to. But just look at the attention to detail, the bronze accents here at the audio connector, right here at the ear cup where it meets the steel headband, and then this part here that holds the suspension strap. And probably my favorite part is this grill inside that allows you to see the driver, and it looks amazing. So yeah, Meze has some of the best build quality of headphones that I've seen, and the 109 Pro does not disappoint. And so on top of the suspension strap here, it just says 109 Pro. And the nice thing about the 109 Pro's design is you have this kind of free-floating articulation here that allows you to pretty much place the ear cup and ear pads comfortably on your head. And as you can see here, they adjust left and right and up and down without any problem. So this is something that's really gonna help with comfort. All right, now that I've spent quite a bit of time with the Meze 109 Pros, I can give you all my thoughts on their comfort as well as the sound quality. As for comfort, they are very comfortable, and these velour ear pads are very thick and plush, allowing me to listen to my music or game for hours at a time. The velour makes them very breathable, and not once did I have to deal with any ear sweat, even in my longest gaming session. The head strap suspension system works really well to distribute the weight of the headphone, and I hardly feel it at the top of my head. Now, I must say that the Meze 109s do have a bit of clamp force that I can feel as I wear them, but keep in mind that I do have a bigger head than most, so some people may not feel it as much. Talking about clamp force, Opos Audio sent me these Ocuclips pads to try out. Let me take them out of the box so you guys can see them. And here they are right here. Apparently they were specifically designed for people like me that wear glasses and love to listen to their music or game. When I first saw them, I thought they looked stupid and that they would do absolutely nothing for comfort. And then I actually tried them on my glasses, and oh man, I was pleasantly surprised. For all of you that wear glasses, you know that this little area right here above this, towards the end, that goes right above your ear, usually you get a lot of pressure there from the headphones kind of pushing your frames into your head. And specifically with the 109 Pros, I did feel quite a bit of pressure there. So it did get uncomfortable for a while, but boy, oh boy, when I put these on, it felt like little pillows were right on top of my ear, kind of providing some padding and relief to that area. So after a few minutes of wearing these Ocuclips, I did feel some relief. So I know these Ocuclips don't look the greatest, but you know, they actually work and feel great. So all of you that wear glasses and do listen to music or do a lot of gaming for, you know, prolonged periods of time, might want to consider looking into the Ocuclip. I will leave an affiliate link down in the description below if you guys are tired of that discomfort right above your ear and want to pick these up. So going back to the Meze 109 Pros, overall, these have been some of the most comfortable audiophile headphones that I have worn. And did I mention that these look amazing with their black walnut ear cups and the overall aesthetic? I mean, look at these. Some of the best looking headphones out there are from Meze Audio, and the 109 Pros don't disappoint. So for sound quality, I tested mainly with two quite different DAC amp systems. First is the iFi Zen DAC V3, which gives you your typical solid state discrete circuit sound that is a very precise and clean sound. And then you have the Schiit and Niche Audio Magni Piety headphone amplifier here on the top, which is a collaboration with Schiit, which is spelled SCH HIIT, and another company called Niche Audio, which does small batch runs of audiophile equipment. And what makes the Magni Piety stand apart from other headphone amplifiers is that it is also built on a solid state construction, but is tweaked for a tube-like sound, which gives you a more colored sound with some distortion in there to give you that unique sound that you typically hear with tube amp. In my setup here, the Piety is paired with the Schiit Mauti DAC. So what I will be describing for the Meze 109 Pro's audio is the sound quality I experienced with the iFi Zen DAC, because that is the closest to what most of you are probably going to be using with these headphones. And then I will describe the sound quality of the Meze 109 Pros on the Magni Piety, because I actually think that the Magni Piety is a very good pairing with the Meze 109 Pros. With the Piety, I will describe the changes that I hear when compared to the iFi Zen DAC. So let's talk about how the 109 Pro sounded with the iFi Zen DAC, which is a great DAC and headphone amp. If you guys are interested in seeing a dedicated video on the iFi Zen DAC V3, check out this video up here. So overall, the tonality of the Meze 109 Pros is that it produces a fairly neutral sound that is pleasant to listen to, where the bass is not overemphasized. The overall music quality of these is great, but I must admit that there is something about the tonality of these headphones that makes them sound unnatural at times, but I'll get more into that later on. As for the bass on the Meze 109 Pros with the Zen DAC, it is a very tight and controlled bass, providing for a very clean presentation of bass when listening to music. Overall, the bass frequency is fairly neutral. Typically, I like my headphones to have elevated bass, but on the Meze 109 Pros, I don't mind that neutral sounding bass because it provides for good clarity. You don't get the heaviness in the bass that you do with other headphones, but I think for this headphone, it's actually a good thing. The mid-range tends to lean on the bright side, but never sounding too harsh. You get a great sense of clarity, particularly in vocals. You get a good sense of width and depth and can hear the different instruments separately and clearly. But there is just something about these headphones in the mid-range that in my opinion makes them have an unnatural tonality. It's not always present in all the music you hear, but in some songs you can definitely hear it, and it does bother me a bit from time to time. Treble is where I think the Meze 109 Pros shine. It's the bread and butter of these headphones. I would describe the Meze 109 Pros as bright and airy. These headphones do a great job of being very detailed in the treble without being too sharp or sounding harsh. You get a clear treble that gives you a great resolution with excellent detail and clarity in the music. You can really listen for those little details in the music that you might not be able to hear as well with other headphones. These headphones definitely give off that sparkle in the high end that makes these headphones have a great sounding treble. You also get great extension to the high treble with these. I would definitely categorize the Meze 109 Pros as being analytical audiophile headphones. The Meze 109s definitely have a nice wide soundstage, which adds to the music listening experience. You get a nice sense of depth between the different musical instruments. The soundstage is very spatial and airy, which provides for a very open sound. You also get a good sense of transparency and detail in the music. It's definitely on the top of my list of some of the best headphones I've listened to with a wide soundstage. The imaging on the Meze 109 Pros is amazing, providing some of the best clarity and accuracy within the soundstage. You really get a precise placement of various instruments that you're listening to in the music. Each sound you hear is both distinct and identifiable, providing you with a very detailed music listening experience. These headphones are definitely at the top of the list when it comes to imaging of all the headphones I've listened to. Alright, so let's talk about how the Meze 109 Pro sounded with the Magni Piety headphone amplifier. The first thing that comes to mind after I listened to the 109 Pros on the Piety is that this amp made these headphones sound fun. I mean, I was listening to the song Mother by Danzig and I was just bobbing my head the whole time while listening to that song. You can definitely feel the music more with the Piety over the Zen DAC, and that the Zen DAC provides a more flatter neutral sound that is not as fun. The best thing that the Piety did was that it made these headphones warmer, which made them more pleasant to listen to, and most importantly is that it fixed the tonality, which made them sound natural. As I mentioned before, when listening to the Zen DAC, the headphones had an unnatural tonality, which I didn't quite like. With the Piety, there was also a sense of a more dynamic range, as you can hear the deeper lows while still being able to listen to those sharper highs, and it sounded very good. I definitely preferred the bass produced by the Piety as it extended into the sub-bass region, providing for a more immersive sound. The bass definitely had more weight behind it and provided more of a punch than it did with the Zen DAC. The mid-range with the Piety became warmer and more pleasant to listen to. Vocals were nice and smooth and less bright than with the Zen DAC. Guitar strings had a bit more weight to them and didn't sound as flat. The highs remained on the bright side but did have a touch more warmth to them, bringing them back more towards neutral. With the Piety, you get less of a clinical, analytical sound in favor of a more balanced sound. I must admit that you do lose a bit of soundstage, but the imaging is still excellent within the soundstage. Overall, I think the Meze 109 Pros are a great pairing with the Magni Piety as they complement each other well. I think these headphones definitely benefit from using a tube or tube-like amplifier like the Piety, as it makes them sound more fun and less clinical. Now let's talk about gaming, because if you're like me, you want a headphone that can perform well both in music listening as well as gaming. For gaming, I definitely recommend using a DAC amp such as the iFi Zen DAC V3, as that will provide you with the cleanest detailed sound that works great for gaming. So this is what I used when I did my gaming on these headphones. The first thing I noticed right off the bat was that the Meze 109 Pros allows you to be hyper focused on the sounds that matter in multiplayer or battle royale games. All the non-important sounds are pushed back into the background, but things like footsteps, gunfire, sound of incoming vehicles come through loud and clear with a great sense of directionality, giving you a massive competitive advantage. One drawback, however, is because the Meze 109 Pros are open back headphones, I was able to hear sounds from outside my headphone. In particular, for me, I can hear the fans of my computer going full blast as I played Warzone. Once you're actually playing, it's not as bad, but you will notice sounds outside of the headphone, especially if you are in a noisy environment. So that is something to consider if you will be using these headphones for gaming, is closed back headphones may work better for some people who are playing in noisy environments. One really cool thing I found out about the Meze 109 Pros for gaming was that I could use my ModMic wireless microphone, which has a magnet here in the back, and I could attach it directly to the metal headband on the Meze 109 Pros without having to stick something just like this. And the great thing, as you can see, while I was playing, the mic doesn't move at all. The magnet strength was enough to keep these in place, and I was able to communicate with my team without any problems. And again, I didn't have to stick anything on the Meze 109 Pros for this to work. So this essentially converted the Meze 109 Pros into an audiophile gaming headset. So now let's get into the details of the sound for the Meze 109 Pros while gaming. So they had a decent amount of bass. I like that it was not overwhelming, which is great for multiplayer and battle royale games. The bass that it is present does help with hearing footsteps a little better, as well as making it a little more immersive. But mids and treble are where the Meze 109 Pro shine for gaming. Mid-range is very clear and open, allowing you to clearly hear enemy footsteps and track them even behind walls. It felt almost like I was playing with audio wall hacks, because with the audio alone, I can totally tell where the enemy was behind a wall, even if they were at a distance behind the wall. The treble was bright and sparkly, providing with excellent clarity, and was very detailed and crisp. As I was traversing the map while playing Warzone, I can pinpoint where the smallest little sounds were coming from, and that allowed me to track enemies with excellent precision. The great thing about the 109 Pros is that it has a wide soundstage and pinpoint imaging. I mean, these headphones probably have some of the best imaging of any headphone I've tried for gaming. There's not only a clear separation of the different sounds in the game, but also a sense of layering that allowed me to determine not only what direction the enemy was coming from, but how far away they were from me. There was just a great sense of openness with this headphone that really elevated my gaming experience. So these are by far the best audiophile headphones that I've used for gaming. I know a lot of people like using the Sennheiser HD800 series headphones for gaming, but I think that these have dethroned the HD800 series for gaming, as the 109 Pros are cheaper, more comfortable, have a great sound frequency reproduction that works excellent with gaming, and they have top level soundstage and imaging that will hands down get you more kills in any multiplayer or battle royale game that you use them with. So I think that the Meze 109 Pros are some of the best headphones for music listening and gaming that you can get for under $1,000, and they are very versatile depending on what DAC and amp you pair them with. If you're gonna use them for both music listening and gaming, I suggest you go with something like the iFi Zen DAC V3. But if you're gonna use them just for listening to music, then I think they can definitely benefit from being paired with a tube amplifier or an amplifier with a tube-like sound like the Magni Piety. I will leave affiliate links to everything discussed in this video down in the description below if you are interested in getting anything. And here's a crazy fact about my channel: only about 0.5% of viewers are subscribed to my channel. That means that 99.5% of you are not subscribed. So please, if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing. I would definitely appreciate it. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.